Hey everybody, it's Rob here from Intrigue. I wanted to take a quick minute to talk about marketing, economics, and return on investment. Sounds like a really exciting topic, right? I know. But what I want to tell everybody or just share with you is this idea of the economics of marketing and what the most important thing is when working in a relationship with a marketing company. Now, there's a ton of marketing companies and there's more popping up every day. Whether it's a one-person show that's really, maybe a little bit good at a lot of things, or if it's a larger company that's got specializations, or even some of the giant companies out there that, well, I won't say anything about that. There's a lot of options. So when you're having conversations with marketing companies to figure out who you want to work with, or even if you're looking at hiring somebody from a marketing side in your own team, the number one thing that's important to recognize is that return on investment is the most important metric in any type of marketing campaign. Whether you're rebranding yourself or positioning yourself or straight up going after to generate new leads that turn into business, we need to be able to measure the return on investment. Whether it's money out, like cash out, whether it's time invested and a percentage of someone's salary on a weekly, monthly, or annual basis, understanding the resources that are going into something and the return coming out of it is critical. So when you're looking at comparing marketing companies or talking to anybody about a marketing initiative, return on investment needs to be the number one topic of conversation. And if it's not even being talked about, then that's a huge red flag. There's a lot of different ways for people to help when it comes to generating leads or results for folks. But at the end of the day, for your business, you need to understand what kind of return you're going to get when you're committing your dollars, your time, your people, whatever it might be, your energy. So return on investment is super important. So one of the things I also want to talk about is benchmarks. What kind of return on investment should you be looking at? And that's where this idea of marketing economics comes into play. So I want you to think about what your average sale looks like in terms of revenue. Maybe it's $1,500, maybe it's $5,000, maybe it's $50,000. Within that average sale, you have an average gross margin. I understand that a lot of people can have really big sales and small scale sales in the same business, but you look at it as an average, and maybe the same thing's true for gross margin. But you want to look at your average. So what's your average sale? What's your average gross margin? If you consider your average sale of, say, $10,000 with an average gross margin of, say, 50%, that means you got $5,000 in gross margin when a new customer buys from you. The kicker now is to understand how many leads does it take for you to get a new customer. Say if it takes 10 leads to get one new customer, and that one new customer generates $5,000 in gross margin, as a business owner, you have to make a decision on how much of that gross margin are you willing to pay to acquire a new customer. And that's your acquisition cost. And so you might tell somebody that I'm willing to pay $1,000 to acquire a new customer. That gives me $5,000 in gross margin. Well, in that case, we need to generate 10 leads to get you $1,000 of leads. So that's $100 a lead. Now, $100 a lead for a $10,000 sale may or may not be reasonable. But the idea is to start thinking this way. Because once you understand your gross margin, your acquisition cost, and your conversion, you can start to understand how many leads you need to actually generate in order to get success for your business. So long story short, there's an economics to marketing, and return on investment needs to be the number one topic of any marketing conversation, whether it's with a marketing company or an agency like Intrigue, or if it's even somebody on your own staff like a marketing coordinator or somebody who's running marketing within your organization. ROI is the name of the game, so I hope that helps. If you have any questions, by all means, let me know. I'm Rob from Intrigue, and I hope that helps you. See ya. Bye.